Good morning, everyone. Nathan P. LaCroix here with Dickerson Insurance Services. Today, we've got something a little special for you with Back9 Insurance, advanced markets, being able to get enough information to a client to pique some interest and show you how easy it is to actually enroll. To go over us first, yeah, we've been with Alera Group since 2018. Collaboration and diversity, the lifeblood of our company. We've got over 4,000 teammates, 120 firms across the nation. So we do have that local footprint with a national scale as well. So we've been around since 1965. Small employee benefits has kind of been our bread and butter, but we do get into individual, the ACA under 65 market, the Medicare, small and large. If you're looking for alternative funding options, PEO type stuff, HRIS, workforce management, package suites on the group side, individual assistance. We are here to help. We're also an educational resource, so if you do have questions about other markets or just your business on your own, we are more than happy to provide guidance. You don't have to be contracted with us. You don't have to be part of our downline. We don't even do downlines. We're not a hierarchy. We're a true general agency. So we actually partner with a lot of the carriers, Aflac, Allstates, you name it. So this is just the tip of the iceberg of ancillary partners as well. So again, your book of business does remain yours. So you don't have to worry about submitting business through us either. We're just here to help. We're here to help build your foundation the way you want and provide you the resources. And we're not going to protect it with any firewall. It's freely available. If you're looking for resources or places to go, we'll happily share that with you. We like to show our work. Um, in addition, we do have online commission portals, full commissions, obviously going back to the no hierarchy, the personal tech support, ongoing training from industry leaders like what we're doing today. And we do have some quoting engines. Again, no cost to you, so we can just get you set up if you're looking to quote, as well as, training one-on-ones. We can do all of that stuff so you're comfortable selling all of the products that are out there so you can do it in your sleep. If you do have any questions, individual at Dickerson-Group, you can give us a call. You can contact Brian, myself, or Daniel for the individual stuff. If you're looking for other markets as well, we can get you in touch with our colleagues too. Now, what I want to talk to you about today, and I'm going to hand this off to Josh in just a minute. Um, we've been doing the BOSS system, the Back9 life insurance policies, showcasing, and I'll recap at the very end of this meeting how to utilize the BOSS and the affiliate links that you do get, personalized websites, and even setting up meetings with Josh and his team. But today we wanted to share with you some more advanced markets. So in addition to the term life, the very transactional stuff, there's another market we would really love all of you to tap into and really show you exactly how easy it is to get into. Um, and just know that all of the documents and portals, we're going to make sure that you are set up with everything, and then you get those documents with some talking points as well. So this is being recorded, so for any reason you have to hop off, don't worry. We'll send this recording to you. We'll have it on our go-to stage, and we'll even have it publicly on YouTube as well, so that way you'll have easy access to fall back on this if you need a refresher, as well as contact information for all of us if you want to have a more deeper dive. We're more than happy to do that as well. So with that, I want to hand it off to Josh, and that way he can share with you kind of the daily life of what it means to showcase an advanced market like whole life, IUL, permanent life insurance, the bigger ticket items where folks are actively looking for something like this to have a retirement wellness plan to add to their portfolio so they're safe and secure with a living benefit. And really just kind of showing you around the system too, just to show you, hey, this is what we can do for you. All right. So with that, let's get it off to Josh.
I wanted to explain to everyone the why. A lot of time agents come in, they start selling things or try to start selling things, and they never give the reason of why we're even having this conversation. So I'm going to share my screen here. So we call this the bucket sheet. Now, the joke I make is that everyone hates life insurance, right? But what do I hate more than life insurance? Paying taxes, right? There you go. So this piece shows me my top income earners and my top tax rates. And when we add this up, we're close to 50% in California, which is probably why you don't live here, right? Amongst maybe some other reasons. So here's what we call this the bucket sheet. I'm going to zoom in here. This is really where your client's money is right now. So when I do a presentation with an individual or even a business, I go over this. So, hey, we have your tax deferred bucket, which is your 401k. To me, this is a great bucket. If someone, especially if someone's willing to match me, I put that percentage of that money into this bucket here. The challenge I see is that so many people are maxing out their 401k. And I just ask them one simple question. Do you think taxes are going down or going up in the future? Well, I think most people would agree they're probably going up in the future, right? So what you're really doing is creating a massive tax bill by maxing this out. So this is a great way to figure out how can I find money to help pay for their life insurance. Ask your clients if they're maxing out their 401k. And again, it doesn't mean that you're going to tell them to replace the 401k. How about we just pull out a piece of that money and we can use that and basically give you the ability to create another form of income that's going to be tax-free down the road. So that's a great way to create the insurance dollars. Then we have our taxable bucket, our stocks, our bonds, our mutual funds. Where else can you put in 100 grand and earn a million? There aren't too many places you can do that, correct? Another great vehicle. Then we have our tax advantage buckets, which is like your Roth IRAs. The challenge with this bucket is people who make, I think, 200K or more, they don't have the ability to put money into this. So a lot of people focus on growth, but what do they forget about? Distributions. Does everyone see these little spigots right here? So this marketing piece shows me how am I being taxed from pre-59 and a half all the way up to 72 and a half. Because it's not how much money you make, it's how much you get to keep, correct? You mean to tell me that if I touch this 401k before 59 and a half, I'm going to get hit with an ordinary income tax plus 10% penalty? I didn't know that. So a lot of the time I get people's attention because they forget it. They only think about the growth. They don't think about distributions. So here's really the main key point of why we're going to have this conversation and really the selling point. What if I could show you a way how to create non-reportable tax-free income? Is that something you'd be interested in? I've been doing this for 15 years. I've never heard someone say no. So there's one more bucket that you may not be familiar with, and that's called life insurance. So people come to me and say, Josh, I thought life insurance was just for a death benefit. No, that's called term insurance. So how am I being taxed on this great bucket, pre-59 and a half up to 72 and a half? This is permanent insurance now. And you may or may not know this, but the real beauty of permanent insurance is the money grows tax deferred, and then we can take the money out tax free. So this is a great vehicle. So this is a one-pager that makes life really simple and explains the why. Why are we having this conversation? So I like to ask clients a very simple question. If you need 20, 30, 50, 100 grand, which bucket do you want to pull from here? I'll wait. So it's a trick question. The answer is I don't want to pull from any of these buckets, especially now that I've seen how I'm being taxed on these buckets, right? So what are we really trying to help you and your clients out with is creating a fourth bucket that you do not have access to. And this bucket is non-reportable and tax-free. Does everyone see it there? This is the why part of the equation. And this is a very simple way to be able to explain to your clients what their tax brackets are, how they're being taxed on their money, and how it all works in a very simple one-pager that you can use. Now we're going to pivot to running the life insurance actual illustration. So I'm sure you're all familiar with your quote and apply software. So I'm going to go through this pretty quickly. First and last name, male, female, health class, smoking status, height, weight, date of birth. So we have a bunch of different options here. If your client's main focus is to be able to grow cash value, we've made this as simple as you can imagine. So does everyone see this button right here? I click on one button. It's going to ask you three simple questions. Do you want to pay monthly or annually? How much do you want to put in an annual basis? And how long do you want to pay for? I challenge anyone in the country that tells me that selling IUL is too difficult. You have to ask those three questions. Now watch how this spits it out here. So if you contribute 24,000 a year from age 45 to 65, so you're paying for 20 years, you're going to receive an income of $76,000 from age 66 to 90. So you're putting in 480K over that time frame, and you're taking out a whopping 1.9 million of tax-free income. That's really important to understand. Again, remember our bucket sheet. Those are not bad vehicles. Those are great vehicles. But those three buckets that I showed you, I like to call those investments. Why do I call them investments? Because they haven't been taxed yet. So life insurance is paid for with after-tax dollars. And what that does is it gives you the ability to take the money out tax-free on the back end. So this is great, Josh. 24,000, a little too rich for my client. What about 12,000? So on the spot, you push one button and make the change, right? And it's going to spit out your numbers right here in front of you. Did everyone see how fast that was? So now we're putting in 12,000, same age, same time frame. But now we're going to receive 37K of income from age 66 to 90. So putting in 240, taking out 945. If that wasn't easy enough, how about a little visual chart here? See, we forget that 90% of us learn visually, but what do we do as agents? We talk people to death till they're blue in the face, but we never show them anything. Well, the reason why we have success here is not because of our wit, it's because we tell you and we physically show you, and that's why we have success. So if I hit the next button, it's going to bring me into some more options here, right? And again, I promise we're going to keep this simple. You could make the sale off the first part of what I just showed you right there. Now we're going to have some options here. What I like to do is people can see 10 years down the road. So I like to show just a 10 pay, right? And then long-term care is a big issue for a lot of people. I'm sure you would all agree. What if I added a long-term care rider and I can get 4% and I hit the rerun button? I just made a few basic changes right on the spot, right in front of my client. Remember here, I'm the agent, you're the client. Look how fast you're able to pivot here. You've got some details here that I can sell to help with the client. This kind of spells out what we saw before. We've got our long-term care riders. We got product brochures. We can see here my premium. I can see my pool of money, my income, and also my pool of money for long-term care. It's all spelled out. I can click on a PDF if I need to go into the illustration. And then I can also hit continue where I can go ahead and do the whole entire application. This is how simple it is to run a quote in front of you and your client. Hey, Josh, I'm not comfortable doing this. Is there anyone that can help me out? Hold on a second. Oh, here I am. I'm back. There you go. I'm very comfortable having these conversations. Permanent. I will get on the phone with you and your clients. I love working with business owners. I think they're very underserved, and we will help get this deal closed with you / for you. That's all I have for how to run the life insurance quotes at a very simple process.
Yeah, real quick, Josh, quick question about hopping on to help those clients and helping those brokers who are new to this and need some help. Thank you for offering that assistance, but I'm assuming you need a well-deserved compensation because your license is on the line to help these agents get off the ground with some training wheels, right?
No, absolutely. Listen, I'm here to help, and I think that I have several agents that just say, "Hey, Josh, I just need a few of these with you. And then I can hit the ground running." What I do to protect myself is I'll go on the app for 25%. I'm not here to beat anybody up. I just have to protect myself. You want to use me for a few of those. After you don't need me, you get all the commission. I have some people that say, "Josh, hey, for 25%, that's more than fair. I'm going to use you all the time." Totally up to you how you want to do it. But the key thing is give me a chance to get our first case done here, and so we can hit the ground running, and then the sky's the limit from there.
I agree. That sounds more than fair. 75% of something is better than nothing. And, if you need some training wheels, think about leads that you pay for either on the front end or back end. This is a wonderful opportunity to have an expert in everyone's corner as well. So thank you for that.
You don't mind, I want to add one more thing to that. How do I find clients to be able to talk to? You all have tons of clients in your book of business right now, right? So anyone that's making good income is a prospect, right? But I really like working with business owners. They have the same needs as individuals. The only difference is that they can pay the premium out of their company and they get really excited about that, right? Just so you know, the next question they're going to ask is, can I write that off? And I'm going to say, consult with your CPA, right? Because I'm not a CPA. So that's my business answer. Do people write it off on the front end and the back end all day long? You bet your butt it happens. But that's between them and their CPA and God, right? So we're really here to help out and be able to give them what they need. And one policy, I can get a pool of money for long-term care. If I use it for long-term care, it's tax-free. I can get, I can have income tax-free income growing in my policy, cash value wise. If I want to have access to that after the first year, it's tax-free. And then I also have a tax-free death benefit. Thank you so much. Let's get the party going here.
Okay. So I don't know if you have time for the application. It's 13
Yeah,
minutes.
yeah, I can knock it out real quick.
Awesome. Okay, cool. Floor is yours.
So now that we've got these clients so excited here, they're going to say, what's next? And we all know what that means, right? And I always like to make a joke like, hold on a second, I'm glad you like Nationwide, but they want to date you as well, meaning an application and an exam. That's all you're committing to right now are those two things. So now, most of the time, believe it or not, this carrier up to $3 million doesn't even ask for an exam. It's mind blowing. So I hit the continue button. We're right into the application here, right? So we don't have to hold our breath for all the trees that we're killing in Costa Rica anymore. So do I can get a copy of the app? Yes or no? A basic information, company information. By the way, we do a lot of key man and buy sell policies, and I've talked about working with business owners. They sign these sophisticated plans. The only difference is the ownership. Will John own this policy individually? The answer is no. Does everyone see the business right here? It's one push of a button, and then I have a business case right here. That's really it for business owners. And I know a lot of you work with business owners, so I love working with them. Let's just to make it easy, I'll say yes to be owned individually. Who's your beneficiary? I can add a contingent beneficiary here. Income, assets, liabilities. This takes all of 5, maybe 10 minutes with your client. Did I have any existing life insurance? I would add the policy right there. I have an additional backup contact I can add. Let's sort of say no. So this is the only time we have to start thinking, right? So some basic questions here. Most of them will be no. We did add the long-term care rider. So normally Nationwide has a few questions, but because of the long-term care rider, but that's okay. I think it's extremely important to be able to add this rider to your plans. Perfect. I'm from New York. I had one agent say, can we get one button that says no for everything and call it a day? I was like, I love the way you're thinking. The carriers will never go for that, but I love your mindset though. I can actually bind coverage if I wanted. If I said yes, I have to fill out some simple questions. If I say no, that's fine. I can actually put in my banking information as well, or just say no. And normally an exam will be required. Just a heads up, they skipped over the exam because of the low face amount. So now I have two options. Maybe I'm not using like a Teams or a Zoom, I might hit sign via email, or if I'm on the call with the client, or if I'm doing this like this Teams or Zoom, I just hit sign now. Or your client's doing this 100% by themselves, I would also hit sign now as well. Or for some strange reason you want to meet your clients face to face, you would also hit sign now as well. It's the same exact process. So as we speak, all the information is auto-populating the DocuSign, and you should all know how that works. Here we go. Bada bing, bada boom. A fully completed 50, 60-page paper application. I mean, look how long this thing is. It might be more than that. So I'm sure you all know how DocuSign works. You may or may not know this, but Teams or Zoom has a feature where you can pass the screen. So I typically pass the screen right now to my client, and if they're in New York and I'm in California, you look really good, by the way. So I pass it, and I'm just DocuSigning. Off to the races here. Remember, this is Life with Long-Term Care Rider, 3 bells and whistles. Here's the illustration we're signing. Welcome to the future where life insurance is heading. We're all set here. Thank you so much for your time.
All right. Thank you so much, Josh, for the information. Super quick, easy, and I do like the fact that you're able to help out the clients because, yes, talking with those clients who are looking for something like this, they're they might ask some questions, tax questions, tax implication, as Josh mentioned before. Best to refer or defer to a CPA or an accountant that can get into the details of that. But there's a lot more to all of these products here that you can share, especially with the group clients that we have and that we work with all of you brokers here. There's a lot of those key mans, the C-suite executives, folks in leadership that you're talking to on a daily basis. So the employee benefits market is a good place if you're actively selling employee benefits. This is a good vehicle to share with them. Hey, you can add more to your retirement by adding this to your portfolio. Again, everything that Josh showed you can all be done in the Boss system, the Back9 back office broker portal. Everything he showed you can actually be done with the quote and apply link, which is the big blue button right there at the top once you log in. If you do want to have more one-on-ones, get into the weeds, you can always click on here, meet with Josh, and choose a time and date that works best for you. And really, you'll have his full attention. So you can do practice runs. Anything that's on your mind about this stuff, you can absolutely do it. Clicking on quote and apply. This one, again, just to recap, this is your personalized link. And you can start talking with your agents, I'm sorry, with your clients. You can run a quote with the client either on the phone, on a Zoom meeting, in person. You can also send this link out to each and every person. You can put this on social media. You can put this in your email signature line. Anyone who uses this link and enrolls by themselves, you become broker of record and get commissions on. So just starting right here, it will take you through all of the steps that Josh just showed you from start to finish from a IUL whole life permanent life insurance policy. Um, with just a few clicks of a button, you can go from a initial proposal all the way to a application submission. So if you do want to know a little bit more about this, we can always have some one-on-ones. We've done this ad infinitum. So yeah, we didn't want to showcase this too much, but I just wanted to share with you that this is a recap on all of the stuff that you can do from behind the scenes with, again, just a few clicks of a button, and you can get this whole thing taken care of. Okay, so with that, we're going to give you guys back a little bit of your time today. We'll be sending out the recording as well as the documents that we shared with you, along with some talking points. But most importantly, our contact information. If you do want to get a hold of us and really do a deeper dive on this stuff, more than happy to help out. All right, you guys have a good rest of the day. We'll send out an FAQ for all the questions that have come in just recently. Thanks.